This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. So what we discussed yesterday till what are the topics we covered yesterday? Give me an introduction. I mean, give me an idea.
All the types of inheritance: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level, hybrid, and then we discussed about method overloading, MRO, and then is a relation and has a relation,
Okay. Is a
and
relation
super
as a
function also.
super function we discussed.
Hmm.
So what does super do? What is the use of super?
So if we have a same method in more than one classes in inheritance, then without super, if we are calling that method outside the class, it will take only the child method.
Okay.
But if we want to take the from the parent method, we can use super.
Okay. So when it will be applied? Only when we are inheriting that class into child class,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
also, what does it mean by is and has a relationship? You understood?
Yes, understood. One doubt there: has a relation is not example for inheritance. No, it is like
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
from
That is
inheritance.
different. That is what I said, right? That is nothing but a composition.
Yes. Okay.
There is no relation between the inheritance because the what I mentioned, engine is a part of car. It is not
Mm-hmm.
inheriting the total car, right? If it is
Mm-hmm.
inheriting, engine also will be part of the engine, right? So how come
Yes.
it will come into the inheritance? So that is nothing but a composition. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want to call the object and if it is inside that class, so instead of inheriting, we can create an object as the same way we are creating outside of the object, right? I mean, outside of the class, we will create an object. So by default, if you want to initialize those things, we can use this has a relationship. And also, uh, I have to explain this chaining, which is related to the super and everything. So till now, you have any doubts, Saujanya or Arya, whatever we discussed? MRO, you understood how it will be the tail and head method. First of all, we need to take a head. If it is inside a tail, head is inside a tail, we will not going to consider. And the first parent will be taken as a, let's say, D, B, A. Then B will be taken as the classes, whatever it is, whether it is single or multiple classes are there. So you understood, you got an idea about those MRO, how
Yes,
the
understood.
methods will be called.
Hmm. Yes,
Got my
understood.
point, right?
Yes.
Or do I need to write it again?
No, it is clear.
Okay, Saujanya, you understood what I okay. So till MRO we discussed, we understood. We or you? You are also have a doubt, Arya?
No, I understood.
Saujanya, you or we?
Yeah, we understand, but I need to practice. I said.
You need to?
I need to practice, sir.
Okay, okay. I mean, if you want me to explain anything, let me know so that I can clear and then we can proceed for the another topic. That is what I've said. That is what I mean to say. So let me know once my screen is visible.
It is visible.
So we discussed a method overloading as well, right?
No, only method overriding.
Sorry, method overriding. Method
Yes.
overloading will be considered into polymorphism.
Hmm.
So what does it mean? You understood?
Yes.
What does it mean?
If same methods are there in both parent and child classes, then the child class method will be overridden from by the the parent class method will
Okay.
be overridden by the child class method.
Yes, yes. So you understood. So we discussed about the super class, right? Yesterday we discussed about the super class. How like a class of like a parent I will take like of something like show of self and print. This is not parent direct. This is parent. Then if I'm taking one more child of parent, then if I've created of self child, this is child, right? So without super, if I'm going to create a child object, what will happen? Directly we'll get
Child method.
child method only. So that is clear. So if I added super dot show,
Oh,
so what will happen? It will be overridden. It will call this and then it will call this, right?
yes.
So first one it will be calling this one. You know what it is happening. So even though we are calling here, but it is overriding. It is overriding. First one it is calling here, then it is calling this one, right? Before printing this one, it is calling this one, then it is printing this one. This is clear, right?
Yes.
So, but we used to see it in our real-time projects. We used to what uh, call the constructor as well. If you want to initialize the constructor using the another class or using the super, we can use that. Let's say the same concept. Why I wrote this is to for your reference. So for example, I will create one class as a person. Okay, then what I'm going to create, I'll create the constructor of self comma name. You have to remember these, you have to understand this one because it will be very if you don't concentrate it will be very confusing. Try to concentrate here for a minute. Okay, self dot name equal to name. Saujanya and Arya, you got my point, right?
Yes.
Concentrate for a 2 minutes. If you don't concentrate, it will be confusing. So till this part, you have any doubt?
No.
So for example, how can I create a object person of, I need to give something like Srikant. That's it, right?
Yes.
By default, do I need to call the constructor?
No.
By default, it will be initialized when we are creating an object, right?
Yes.
So anywhere we are not going to call the constructor. That is what I mean to say. We are not going to call the constructor. But if you want to initialize the construct, I mean, if you want to initialize the values, you have to call the constructor, right? If you are not creating an object, let's say if you are not creating an object, how you will call this? I mean, if you want to initialize this object, I mean, these variables. So you have to call the constructor, right? Because everything is inside the constructor only. You are getting my point? If you are
Yes.
not creating an object, this will be executed.
No.
But without creating an object, if I want to call this function, I mean, if I want to, let's say, print this one, this is Srikant constructor. If I want to print this one, how can I print? I
By
have to
creating
call this. I have to call this constructor, right? I have to call the constructor or I have to create an object. There are two ways, right?
yes.
You can consider like for your understanding, I'll write like this. Let's say if it is a function, I'll take something like function. If I want to call this one, how can I call? One thing is I will create an object, then from that object I will Call that
All the
function. Then we have as a relationship as well, right? We are going to create an object inside a class. Then from that we are going to call that function. There are two ways, right?
yes,
The
yes,
same way, forgot this one. This is for your reference. The same way, you understood, right?
yes, understood.
Then I will create one more class like a student of person. So if I will create one more constructor here of self, comma, something like rule number. What should I do? First thing, whatever the variables I have to initialize those things. If I'm taking
Mm,
100 variables, I mean 100 parameters, I have to first initialize that. How? Self dot rule, right? Equal to rule. This is the first and foremost thing you have to do, right?
yes.
Right? Then
Mm,
I will something like this is another or student constructor. This is or nothing. So I will create student. So what will happen? By default, I will have to give something rule number. By default, this will be printed,
mm,
right? This will be printed, right? But
yes.
this person, I have to use these, I have to initialize this constructor because some of the functionalities we discussed about the objects, right? I mean, we discussed about the has a relationship, right? So let's say there is something like object I can consider like self dot object equal to some class. So something like there is something one more class here, one more class something like. So I have to initialize this object. Okay. So if I'm initializing this object, by default this class will be initialized or no? Has a relationship.
Yes.
You got my point? So we are just creating an object inside a class. By default, it will be initialized. And this is just for an example. What I need is from this class, I don't want to create this object or I don't want to uh, create all the objects. That is the reason what we are using as a relationship, right?
Mm,
So if you observe in your real-time project, we are not going to create outside of the variables, outside of the class, right? Something, did you observe anywhere something like outside of the class? We are going to
no.
initialize or we are going to think. There is nowhere, right? We are going to call from the classes only. We are going to initialize from the classes only, right? So
Yes.
from this one, if I want to call this constructor, okay, the same way I can call, I can use the same super. Instead of method, I can use constructor. But how many values I need to give?
Name.
I have to give a name. Okay. So I have to give a name and also I'm creating a student. This till now you don't have any doubts, right? So if I have 100 variables, how many values I need to give here? The same,
100.
whatever it is, it looks like everything should come here. If it is a method also, we have to give a same values as well, right?
Mm,
Till here, you don't have any doubt, right?
no.
Okay.
Name, we should give the name variable or some value we need to give.
Same, whatever the name we are giving.
Okay.
The
Okay.
values we are going to give from here. That is what I will discuss. That is what I'm going to explain. Okay.
Mm,
So, we are going to call this object. Are we going to call this object? Creating this object, person creating? No, right?
No.
We are creating only student object. Okay. Then student object is creating. How many values it is expecting? Only one. Only one, right?
Yes.
Only one. But again, in the next step, we are initializing this object. We are pulling this one. We are taking that constructor inside our student object. Then from where this name will taken? Here, there is no way of where we given a name value. Did we created an object of person?
No.
Then how we are going to give a value, name value? How come it will get? So if it is default value, like if it is default value, there is no need of giving here, right? By default, it will take. You got my point? And this is also not required. This is also not required, right? Because already variable is given. But if I'm giving as a name, how come or this one will get the name? How, which name it will consider, whether it is Srikanth or whether it is Arya, whether it is Saujanya, how it will give? If we are going to create an object, then only we will give. But here there is no way to get this name variable, right?
Yes.
So for that reason, we have to, whatever the variables are there, we have to give from this object only. So for that, we need to add name also. Got?
Yes, got.
Okay. This is but very confusing. It will be confused, but if you understood, it will be great. So I'll give an answer. Then I will print constructor and self dot role and self dot name. Am I able to access those things? Right? Getting? This
Yes.
constructor is also executing. First, this one is, it is calling, it is taking a name, then it is taking this name into this constructor, then it is going, it is initializing, then it is calling, then we are printing that one. Let's say if it is equal to Srikanth directly empty, or I will take different name for the difference. Not required. There is no. Are we getting?
Yes.
We are getting it, right? This should be there. This is just a variable. Without variable, how we are going to assign Arya or Srikanth or x equal to 10, right? Here you can take, or something like here also you can take. Both are same. Okay. There is no need of giving a values here. There is no need of giving a values here.
Okay.
I
Understood.
will. This is super in constructor chaining. Constructor chaining. Okay. You can consider. Okay. Here I can give you one more example, something like equal to Arya. No need of giving here. Oh, sorry. No need of giving here. No need of giving here. Right? So, oh, this is also we have to remove because it is expecting only one value. right? Till here you don't you have any doubt?
No, clear.
Saujanya, you clear? It's clear? Clear, right? And also we discussed about the MRO. So MRO, you don't have any doubts, right? It is like a diamond problem. Diamond problem. I mean, how it is looks like a um, A. I have to draw something like it's diamond problem. Diamond graph basically how the parents or how the things will be looking like. We already discussed. Should I write that MRO or not required? With methods,
It is clear.
it is clear, right?
Mm.
Okay. So then till here we have completed the inheritance topic. Or maybe I can write a one MRO class or MRO. Maybe I've created only all pass, right?
Mm.
Print of A. I'll pass here. Just a small example. D equal to D object I'll create. Okay. So before that, it is like a diamond graph. Yeah. It is like a diamond. So A like a pyramid shape. Okay. A will be top. Then diagonal way. Which one is it inheriting? B and C.
Mm.
This is B and C is the parent, right? These are the childs. Parent is A. Okay.
Okay. Mm.
So before that, first of all, we are going to write first of all MRO equal to first parameter, which one? D D B C plus DVC plus which one we have to take? B will be BA plus C will be CA plus and A will be A. That's it. Then D by default D will be last. So BC, I mean this is how it will be. It looks like. So which one you have to tell me, Saujanya and Arya? BBCA. Which is
Then
the
we will.
head and which is the tail?
B is the head.
B is the head. So B is anywhere. B is tail. No, right? Then what will
No.
what will happen now? B will not they be there. B will not be there. Then what will happen? C
Plus CA plus A.
C will be taken. C will be taken, right?
Yes.
Then C will not be there.
అత్తమ్మా అత్తమ్మా ఇవి తీసుకోవా
Yeah, Saujanya. Then Final thing will be A. So everywhere we have to add O, but I'm not adding it by default because O will be taken care of last. So the answer will be DBCAO.
C.
So what does it mean? This method will be executed. Let's say I will call D dot show. D dot show. So if I'm not passing it. So which one it will execute now first?
D will be executed.
D will be executed. This is I didn't wrote right last time. I just passed it right.
Mm.
It is taking. D will be executed. Then if it is not there, then which one it will execute? B will be
B.
executed, right?
Mm.
If it is B is not there, then
C will be executed.
C will be executed. Small things. Small things is taking enough time. Okay, I think you understood this, right? So till here we discussed about all the topics which is related to the inheritance. Okay. So till here you don't have any doubts, right?
No, clear.
Clear? So we are going to discuss about the polymorphism. Polymorphism. P-H-I-S-S-M. Polymorphism. So what does it mean by polymorphism? Polymorphism is nothing. Poly means in a chemistry we studied, right? What does it mean by poly?
Multiple.
Poly means many, right? Poly means
Yes.
many. Morphism means forms. Okay, this is nothing but a many forms. So in OOPS, basically polymorphism, which will allow the same method name and operator to behave differently depending on object. So we are going to take a same name, same methods and the same constructors, but it will be different based on a object. Let's say L equal to length of, let's say I will take something like this. Okay. What I'm going to get? These are why it is taking. Am I audible?
Yes.
So even though we are taking, this is what is this type of object?
List.
This is a list object,
List.
right? And if I'm taking like this, what is this one?
String.
This is a string object, right? So based on object, it is behaving different, right? It is not checking whether which type it is, whether it is a list object, whether it is a string object, whether it is a dict object, whether it is, even though we are using the same method, but it is working differently on a different objects. Okay, let's say you are a married woman, right? Let's say, so when you go to your office, you uh, your speaking or your the way you there, or the way you speak, the way you behave, everything will be different, right? If you are in office,
Yes.
right or no?
Yes, different.
If you are in home, that will be different. If you are in your hometown, that will be different. If you are in any meeting, so you are the same person. I mean, you are the same method. Okay, but based on a environment, based on a location, you will be your change will your uh, behavior will be changes. The same way, the same method, even though we are taking a same methods, based on a object, whether that is an class string object, whether that is an class object, whether sorry, int object, whether that is an float object. So based on an object, it will behave. It will not check the type. Is it checking the type? Oh, this is a list. I don't have to work on this. Is this a string? This is a string. Okay, this is a string object. I don't have to work. Okay, is it behaving like that?
No.
No, right? This is just an example. I don't know why it is not executing. This is what does it, you understood what does it mean by polymorphism?
Yes.
So what does it mean by polymorphism? Whatever I discussed. So the methods will be same method name and the same method operator. Let's say how can I represent? Let's say print of 10. I am printing just 10. So these are high level. If you know, if you are not able to understand, just ignore. But if you understood, that would be great. So if I'm printing 10, how it will represent? Just as a 10,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
But if I'm printing something Srikant, how it will represent? It will
Sri.
represent as a string. So that is nothing but a I mean polymorphism method over constructor overriding or overloading. So these things we will discuss. First of all, we will cover the upper layer of the topic. So what does that mean by polymorphism? Polymorphism is nothing but a same interface but different behavior. Different behavior, same interface but a different behavior. I gave you an example of you, right? So why we have to do this? So for flexibility, because we are not going to create, or we are not going to it, the functionality, the method will work for every object, not for single object, or and we are going to reuse those functionality, extensibility, and something. Even though whatever I'm saying we will not understand, we will discuss in a coding wise, then we will understand the theoretical part. So how many types of polymorphism are there? Okay, one is we already discussed. What is that? Method.
Overriding.
Types of polymorphism. Polymorphism. One is method overriding. Then overloading will not be work here, but we will discuss method overloading and operator 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 overloading. This should come first. So we have duck typing. Typing. Duck typing. So what are these are the topics we are going to cover inside a polymorphism. Okay. And maybe if I have a time, maybe we can discuss about the advanced topics as well. Okay. So first and foremost thing, what does it mean by method overloading? So method overloading is nothing but a when child class provides its own implementation of parent class. So the pair of a parent class methods, right? So when we are creating, we already discussed about the method overriding, right?
Yes.
So you don't have any doubts or you have any doubt there? I will create here.
How it is how it is polymorphism connected? I didn't understand.
Yeah. So I will, great question. I will create one class animal of sound something like this is the parent print of animal sound. Okay, animal sound. Then I will create an class something like animal object, sorry. Same method I will take. Print dogs class of cat something. This is also animal. What is this inheritance? Dog, sorry, cat, meow. These are the objects I've created. Okay. So everything we are having a same method. Okay. But based on object, it will print this one. Right? So if we are calling a dog class, dog object, this should print. If you are calling a cat object, this should print. Like I will iterate these things. Like I will create something like a animals equal to